and Honorable Ian Cameron must recuse themselves and answer to this. Right? We must not give an option for that to happen. It's a matter of principle. For us to sit here and say, we're going to wait for the DA to come back and say to us whether they want to do it or not, is not correct. We must take a principled stance that because you are mentioned in a witness statement, and we are tasked with the responsibility to test the veracity of the allegation. Here's the allegation before us. We must therefore hear them as witnesses. They must come and respond. But they can't sit on the committee until that has happened. I conclude, Chair, by repeating, as a matter of principle, both Honorable Ian Cameron, in his capacity as chairperson of the Committee of Police, where these things was mentioned, and nothing was done, and that's the reason why there was a press briefing, he has to answer to that. And Honorable Barnard, because she is implicated, must also do so. And that must be decided now, not tomorrow. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Malema.
No, thanks, Chair. Comrades, especially Honorable Nomvalo, we must refuse the temptation to want to make a determination of representatives of other parties as people who don't come from those parties. And SMK, we should actually be even more concerned because we are sitting in the JSC today without Honorable Tlhophe, which they wanted to dictate to you that you must remove him and all manner of things. And you refused. Until now, we're short of a member of parliament in the JSC because you refused that no one is going to dictate to you as to who you are sending to the JSC. All I'm saying is, having experience of the opposition parties, it's well and good and nice today that you join forces with them. Tomorrow they're going to remove you. They're going to want to determine to your party who must be sent from your party. We shouldn't agree to that. We shouldn't agree to that. You have expressed your views. And I've always maintained, and many of you deliberately decide to misinterpret me, that recusal, it's a personal decision. You have raised issues. The DA has listened to you. She has heard you. Whether she takes a decision to stay or not to stay, the public will take a decision about that. It's her decision. But to sit here...
Point of order, Chair. Procedural.
Try me. I don't think you want to sleep. Try.
Can we take the point of, but before we take the point of order, Honorable Malema, when you say try me?
No, I'm on the floor. You didn't say I must stop. So I'm making my points. Try me, boys. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about any other thing. I'm just saying.
Chair, it still remains a procedural issue.
Yeah. No. I'm speaking until you tell me to stop. When a point of order is called, only you can tell me to stop.
Yeah, no, I'm taking the point of
order. Okay, thank you. I'll pause.
But I want that try me.
Yeah, Chair. Recusal is not a personal matter. It is a matter of a substantial conflict. And so we must just clear that up. It's not personal. It's procedural to say that we must be clear. It's a substantial conflict.
Yeah, but Honorable Sauls, you are debating the matter now. I thought you were raising a point of order, but if you debate the matter...
I'm raising a point of order. It's misleading to say that we are trying to do something that's a personal matter and we're trying to enforce something that's not procedural. We are raising a point that there's a substantial conflict and procedure holds. You must recuse yourself.
I don't think there is disagreement on the matter of recusal. You are arguing for recusal, and he is explaining how recusal should happen. May you proceed?
Thank you, Chair. So it can't be correct that you want to determine a membership and representative of certain political parties in this committee. And I've said to you, we do not constitute ourselves. Now calls are being made for you to remove people from this committee who have been sent, correctly so, by their parties. It might be nice today, but you're establishing a precedence that is not sustainable, Honorable Nomval. You ought to be it doesn't matter how you feel at the time. You ought to look at the future and turn tables as to what's going to happen if this happens to us one day. I know how these chaps operate. Extremely unprincipled. Today they want to appear like they've got principle on recusal and all manner of things. Again, to say what General has presented here must be accepted as a gospel truth because it was said by a police officer under oath, then we must take what he says about Honorable Mkhunu because it's been said under oath. And why should we proceed about any other thing? Because everything General said here, a police officer under oath is a honest truth, nothing else but the truth, and no one can question it. It's unprincipled. General has presented what he presented. We are going to question him tomorrow. We're still going to put whatever he put before us to test. So I'm pleading with you, Honorable Chairperson, don't fall into a temptation to do things that are unconstitutional. This is a proportional democracy, proportional representatives, and we are here constituted by how we are represented in Parliament, and our parties shall decide on those things. Members have raised their issues, the public has listened to them, honorable members had them, the party she represents have had them, and she will make that determination tomorrow. And it's as simple as that. No chairperson has got a right to choose who sits in this committee, who doesn't sit in this committee. Last point. All of you who are making the recusal point, why is none of you not quoting the rules of Parliament on recusal? And why is none of you quoting the terms of reference on recusal? We're just talking past each other. No one is referring to anything. No authority is being referred to. No authority is being referred to. I'm just saying we need to remain principled. Nothing wrong with the chief whip having raised this issue that this member has been implicated in a manner she has been implicated. We are still appealing to a conscience and leave it there, not remove. You are able to remove alternates, but you can't remove a person who's implicated. You have no such power. Neither do us have the power to determine what happens to the delegation of the DA. And let me remind you, Honorable Nomval, when they refused Honorable Kloppe to go to the JSC, I took this stand I'm taking now. It's not for the first time. That's me. I took this stand even on Honorable Kloppe. I said, you are not going to do that. If he's a member of Parliament, he must enjoy all of those privileges until a certain decision is arrived at by the courts of this country. So today, the tables are not on your side. You say, no, you can determine who must be sent from the other party. But when it comes to your party, no one can determine who you must send. So, comrades, be principled. This road is still long. We just finished a year. We have another 4 years to go. With these honorable members that are here with you, behaving like they're raising principal matters when they are setting a precedence for you and setting a trap for you. Be warned.
Point of order, Chair. No, I'm serious. I've got a point of order, Chair.
Yeah. Honorable Sauls.
Chairperson, we were silent. I think for most of Honorable Malema's input, he was addressing members. He was not addressing chair, as is the rules of procedure in a meeting. Now, why we felt it was important that we must raise this point of order is that not only does he address members, he is intimidating them and threatening them. I think you need to rule on that point, Committee. Honorable Chair, thanks.
Okay, I will rule on that matter later. Honorable Sauls.
Chair, it's wrong of Honorable Malema to say that we are putting it publicly here that the statement and the testimony that General Mkwanazi has made, we consider it truth. It's not correct. We do not consider the testimony truth. But our terms of reference says any allegation made by General Mkwanazi, we will investigate the veracity of that allegation. There's an allegation from the General toward Honorable Barnard. There's an allegation here in the testimony of the meeting for the 5th of March. It is on that basis that we are citing Honorable Ian and Honorable Barnard. It's not personal. Then to say that there's no rule when it comes to conflict in our terms of reference. Our terms of reference is not exhaustive. If we have not dealt with recusal, it does not mean you should not deal with it. It's a general principle. If there's a conflict of interest, which here we put forward that there is substantial conflict now. When we raised it before, it was just conflict of interest. When we raised it before, now that there's a testimony under oath, and within the witness statement, there's an allegation, it now becomes a substantial conflict. And we will be wrong to say the fact that there's a substantial conflict based on testimony under oath, we ignore it. We are merely saying you cannot be judge and witness. The two honorable members must be witness so that they have a right of reply to the allegation. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Sikele. Honorable Sikele. But Honorable Sikele, are you forfeiting your right to speak?
Chair, you did give me an opportunity when I raised my point of order, but yeah, so I'm covered. Thank you very much. We've said what we said. We will discuss it with you tomorrow morning. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Skosana.
Chair, we won't sleep. I can see that you don't want to go home today. But thank you, Chair. I think Honorable Member Barnard must assist Parliament by recusing herself. Voluntary to help the integrity process of this ad hoc committee. You know, if one has to play politics, I can give you case law. We had Honorable Mazoni. We had Dr. Hlophe. The DA took the matter to court. The matter of morality to court for Hlophe to recuse himself. Now, if we are unable to allow this to happen, willy-nilly, that the MPs are not going to recuse themselves, like Chief Justice Zondo refusing to recuse himself. We are repeating the same thing which the judiciary has done over years, unabated. I'm calling once again the honorable member to find it in her heart to recuse herself. They pushed for Hlophe to be removed on morality after the parties voted. Parity must be applied. She must go based on morality. Her participation, perhaps she must come as a witness to explain herself sitting there. Because what General Mkhwanazi, we have the statement here. I mean, police are arresting people based on a statement. On an allegation, they arrest you. Now, I'm saying let's agree as a committee here just to make sure that this committee has the integrity. Because I don't want to say comrades. I might be tempted to say that. As Umkhonto Wesizwe Party, the DA, we had to go to court because they took us to court in the matter of recusal. And we are expecting them to do so because there's a precedent they've set already. Let's call a spade, man. We'll be writing to the speaker requesting if the DA doesn't want to recuse their member. And in fact, she must be even in the JSCI because she has compromised them. We had it here. Until it's cleared, there's no problem. Not that it's not going to be a member of parliament, an honorable member. If she clears herself, she'll come back, no problem. But let's not set a bad precedent here. Let's do the right thing. We started wrongly, blaming the legal team, which let us down. It's a fact. But let's not, us as honorable members, the same. A simple thing. I mean, there are 87, as you said. If she recuses herself and she's cleared, she'll come back. No problem. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Nomvalo.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson, once again. No, Chair, I just wanted to put an emphasis on the fact that we're not making a dramatic call here. We're making a call which is based on principle. Yep. And it arises from the fact that the evidence that has been tabled, or the testimony rather, by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, makes it necessary for the committee to identify the honorable member in question as a person of interest, to say she must come and testify here in the committee, like we've done with other ordinary members of the public. So you can't be a referee and a player. If we've decided, or if we decide as this committee that based on the evidence before us, you are going to be a witness, then it's fair for the integrity of this committee that we allow you to sit on the other side and not sit with us, because you are going to be conflicted. So this is not a dramatic issue, Chair. It's a matter of principle. Maybe when the member in question has cleared herself, maybe she can come back to the committee, but I think it will be late by then. But what we're saying here, Chairperson, is that we're not fighting the DA. The DA has many members who are saying they can bring any other person who is not implicated by what has been put before the committee by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Like my colleague has said, Chairperson, that in this country, the law allows police officers to arrest people based on prima facie evidence. Even before judgments are made against them in a court of law, they get arrested on the basis of the testimony, on the basis of the investigation that has been made by the police officer. And that does not mean that their statements or the evidence collected by the police officer is regarded as nothing but the truth. But that's how the law of South Africa operates. So we can't develop our own principle on the basis of convenience, Chairperson. Yeah. And if we allow a person who is implicated to be part of this committee, then what we are doing here is absolutely nothing. And we're going to be a national joke in South Africa. And as the MK party, we're going to define ourselves outside that joke. We're not prepared to be part of jokes. If a person is a witness, he must come as a witness, not as a witness and as a member of the committee at the same time. What is that? So that is our submission, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Honorable Ngola.
Finally, Chair. Thank you very much, Chair. I think let us take this moment, Chair, to refresh the memory and conscience of members of the ad hoc committee. We had robustly discussed this matter in the past 2 ad hoc committee meetings, and a standing decision was taken with the appeal from the members of the DA that this matter let be ventilated at the time when there is an accusal that is, or accusation that is tabled before the committee. That's the decision, it's a standing decision of the ad hoc committee. Now, under oath here in front of us, there is an allegation regarding one of our members. And that in its own raises a reasonable apprehension of bias. Chair, there is no doubt, it is common cause that we're living in a very litigious society. Now, we're trying humbly and respectfully to put safeguards to ensure that the process of parliament is not compromised. Chair, part of what we must take as a lesson to this, from this process, Chair, is that the rules partially address the issue relating to conflict, not wholly. Because Rule 30 of the National Assembly rules does regulate conflict. And it regulates it in 2 aspects. On the aspect of financial benefit and on the aspect of personal benefit. And right in front of us, there's been an evidence that was accused that is actually implicating some of us in what is alleged to be wrongdoing in the entire criminal justice system. To check beyond the rules, there is overwhelming precedence of parliament on matters relating to, matters of this nature. In the 6th administration, this parliament, Chair, had to restart a process of appointing a deputy public protector on the basis of a reasonable apprehension of bias. And you know what's fun about it, Chair? Is that it's the DA that actually raised that conflict in that in those interviews. Secondary to what Honorable Skosana was saying about the JSC. So if we are to be consistent in terms of applying conscience and principle and the rules of natural justice, we therefore have no choice but to respectfully request the member in question to save the integrity of the process. Hence, we are firmly supporting that the member in question must recuse herself from the proceedings. Thank you very much.
So much. Honorable Sangoen.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable.
No, Honorable Skosana, you have spoken.
Yeah.
Chair, I'm on the floor. Can I be protected from the MK?
Look, in that row, you are 4 men against 1 female. And there is a female just right in front of your eyes. And she must be given an opportunity to speak. And then you can't tolerate that.
And I'm intimidated with that camouflage. Can I continue, Chair?
You are protected, Honorable Member.
Thank you. Chairperson, I doubt if I have much to add. I think Honorable Ngola, and he was very clear. I just want to perhaps remind us, since I am the last speaker in the names that you had, yes, since I am the last hand that you had noted, Chair, and we can't keep going back on one thing. As the African National Congress, I think we have accepted the input or the request from the Democratic Alliance that says they will come back in the morning. I think we've also asserted the legal principle that a person cannot be a judge in their own case. Now, Honorable Malema says that we have not quoted any authority. That is a legal principle. And it's a legal principle that you'll also find in our courts, several precedents around it. We've also accepted, Honorable Chairperson, the rules of natural justice that we have spoken to in this matter, that if you are a person who is personally affected by an outcome of a matter, you cannot then, in the interest of procedural fairness, participate in that. Now, Honorable Xola says when he refers to case law, he speaks about a reasonable apprehension of bias. I think in that discussion and debate, we have asserted that it is not a reasonable apprehension of bias. It is an actual conflict, not a perceived conflict. We have the statement from General Mkwanas. So we really want to persuade and really plead with the DA that they consider these matters as they go off, because Honorable Malema is right on one matter that says that there is no particular rule that we can refer to, hence it's a persuasion. But my last point, Honorable Chairperson, that I want to make, aligning ourselves with MK, as the African National Congress, I think we would also need to review our participation in this if we know that right at the onset, we are participating in a process that is procedurally unfair, that is open to litigation and being challenged. So that is our final input. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, thank you so much, honorable members. I think I've given you sufficient time to speak. I'm not going to recognize further hands. On the point of order that you raised, Honorable Sankun, I agree with you that we must persuade honorable members that we must not persuade other members by injecting fear in them, because once members are terrified, they can become hypnotized and you...
Point of order, Chair.
Let me take a point of order, Honorable Scorsese.
Yeah, a point of order is against you, Chair. That the Honorable Sauls spoke 3 times here. Sangweni spoke four times, Honorable Sangweni, four times. I've spoken once.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but it's fine. But I just wanted to raise that to be recorded, before you close. But it's fine. I'm protesting on that. To say the member of the EFF was prevented not long ago, last year.
So I think it will be fair for the parties, when all of us are still fresh, who are given time to, we may not follow any particular order, but it will be good that each one of you gets a fair share of the day. I think that is what I thought. Yeah, so that is the order which we will follow tomorrow. And the last thing before I say the meeting is adjourned, I want to thank you, honorable members, for your agility and robustness, and for being forthright. When we had issues with the quality of the statement that was presented before us, you came out and say, let us assert Parliament in this statement, because Parliament cannot be second fiddle to any other arm of the state. And I want to thank you for that courage, for that agility, and for that forthrightness. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much.